All right, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Sista, Sitdown with me, Unapolojess. Okay. From my brand, hey, it's me, Jess B. And today, y'all, my guest is Jaleesa Rogers. I've known Jaleesa for, let's see, how long have I known Sonya? Ooh, I was young when I met Sonya, like 10 years ago, 10, but 12, probably 12 years ago at this point. So I've known you through Sonya. And as soon as Sonya seen me post the first episode, she was like, you gotta get Jaleesa on there. You gotta get Jaleesa. And so I was happy to set this up with you because I have seen so much growth over the years with you and your business. And so just super excited to have you on. So thank you so much for being a guest here on Social Sit Down. So I like to start this off by asking, who are you? Who is Jaleesa?
So my name is Jaleesa. I, as a person, just a girl from a small town, Hillsborough, North Carolina. We grow with not a lot. So, I just had like a regular childhood. Eventually, as I evolved in age, I've just always been kind of thinking like, what is it that I want to do? So I've just been like on this journey of finding myself. I would definitely say last year was the year of me, where I definitely found myself and secured who I am and who I wanted to be. So I am an entrepreneur. My background is I worked in the dental field for oh my gosh, about 10, 15 years, half my life. And that's all that I knew. But the whole time, in my mind, it's like, okay, Jaleesa, like what is your thing? Like, what is your niche? So I have been searching all my life and I finally found it. So that's me. I am married. I have one child. So yeah, that's me. I'm pretty down to earth. I love adventures, traveling, all things girl. So that's me.
We love to see it. And it's crazy looking at you and looking at Brian because he is your twin. Like your identical twin, right? From the time he was little, even up until now, that's your twin. All right. So you kind of touched base on it a little bit, but what is your brand and then what type of services do you offer?
So my brand is J. Marie's Total Body Studio. So what we offer is basically an array of services, anything body contouring. So we do non-surgical laser lipo, non-surgical cavitation, body wraps, anything fat reduction, weight loss geared is what we do. We also specialize in detox services, which is really important. And recently I got my aesthetics license. So I'm a new licensed esthetician. So now we are offering facials as well. So initially when I started my business, I went into body contouring because it didn't require me to have a license. But I always knew that I wanted to expand my business and offer more services. So that's why I came up with the Total Body Studio concept in my name. So my first name is Jaleesa. My middle name is Marie. So that's where the J. Marie's came from. So I also offer training classes to those who want to become body contouring specialists. So I do that as well. I also have a mentoring program that I run. I mentor ladies who've taken my class, other ladies who are in the body contouring and aesthetics industry.
All right. Now that sounds like you got a lot happening for yourself and we love to see it. And so I know you mentioned that prior to you kind of had been going through life trying to figure out what it was that, you were passionate about and you were committed to. And so now you found your groove, you found your thing. So what experiences as a Black woman, what experience have influenced your passion and your trajectory in your business?
So I would say, first of all, being Black, African American is one obstacle in itself, but to be a female Black entrepreneur, it can be very hard. When you go into these six-figure businesses, most people are expecting a male or especially maybe a Caucasian male, but definitely not African American. So sometimes as a woman in business, Sometimes people don't take you serious. I've had instances where I have clients come in and I'm doing their service. I never let them know that I'm the owner. I just introduce myself and, perform that service. And they're like, oh, well, where's the owner? And I'm like, I'm the owner. And they're kind of look at me like, pale, like, oh my God. Yes, it's me. But I would say that. And, when I went into business, I kind of like toyed with the fact of, do I show myself? Do I not show myself? Like, do I just stay in the shadows because if people see me, they're going to not want to do business with me or things like that. So I have noticed, like, within some situations, when people don't know the face behind the brand and they just have this made up person in their mind, things do tend to go different, to be honest. So as a Black woman in business, it can most definitely be it can be difficult, so it definitely takes more push and more effort to be a Black woman in business, for sure.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. And even when I thought about entrepreneurship, growing up, we didn't see a lot of Black business owners in our own community or even, on TV. And if they did, they were doctors, they were lawyers. We didn't see the surge of business owners that we're seeing now. Over the past, I want to say like 10 years, with people being in any industry, hair industry, beauty industry, even when it comes to cryptocurrency. I myself, I'm in the network marketing industry. And so growing up, I never really seen that. I mean, I seen, the Avon lady. I seen the interior decorator lady, right, Mary Kay, but nobody really talked about how that was them starting a business. Like, we just knew that there was America. You can get lotion, you can get makeup. We did not understand that, like, we really could have helped them take off in that type of industry. And so what I have admired about Black women in general is not only are we the most educated demographic in the world, but but also it's like, now we like, okay, we got the knowledge, now let's go get the bag. And even though you may come across some obstacles, as far as, like, with people seeing your face and then looking at your brand, it's still like you're still paving the way for the future J. Maries that come behind you, so that when people see their face, they also have the same expectation of Black excellence, and it's not an exception. So that is a great point that you brought up. And so I'm glad to see Total Body Studio. But like you said before, you were in the dental industry. And then, like I said, I've known you for about roughly 12 years now. And so in between, have there been any other businesses you tried before? And how did you find your niche? Because a lot of people, they think that, okay, I woke up this morning and I thought about selling t-shirts. And then all my family didn't buy my t-shirt, so I must be a failure. Now I don't want to do business ever again. F it. I don't want to do nothing ever again. But people don't realize is that it takes years. It takes a while before you can kind of find your groove in the industry. And even for people who just magically popped up over the pandemic and, all of a sudden that ain't millionaires, it still started with something else prior to. So what for you were some of the businesses that kind of came before J. Marie's Total Body Studio?
So before J. Marie's, I've always tried to sell something, girl. I always try to be a hustler. I mean, I went from selling paparazzi jewelry. I even opened up my own boutique selling pocketbooks. You name it, I tried to sell it. But nothing really felt like, it just didn't click. It didn't feel like this is what you're destined to do. Right. So I used to be heavier, and one day I was sitting in front of my TV and I seen this body contouring studio pop up on the TV. So I said, hey, I'm ready to lose weight. This is going to be a start of a new beginning. So I said, okay, I'm going to go get body contouring done. I'm going to eat right. And that was what was going to motivate me to lose weight. So I went to this body contouring studio. I did my consultation and they basically told me that I was too overweight for their liking, pretty much. They didn't see any clients who were anywhere. They only saw clients who were within like 5 pounds of their goal weight. So they turned me away as a client. So for me, you know, I was like, okay, forget it, diet out the window. I went to McDonald's, got me a Big Mac, like whatever, you know, diet is
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
So one day my friend invited me to a women's empowerment event all the way in Buffalo, New York. I mean, I wasn't motivated. I didn't feel empowered. I didn't want to go, but I didn't want her to go by herself. So I went. So the whole time doing this women's empowerment event, it's all like, you know, women empowered, blah, you know, I'm like, blah, blah, blah. Okay, can we go home, right? So during intermission, they had vendors out there. I walked outside. One of the vendors were 2 Black girls doing body contour. So immediately I was like, oh my God. So I went over to them and I was like, hey, you know, and I told them about my experience. And they were like, no, that's not how it works. Like, you could have totally gotten the services. And then they were like, well, why don't you open up a studio in North Carolina so you can provide services and do it yourself? And I was like, me? Yeah, that's a good idea, girl. Right. And we're so like, I love Black women and how we stick together, like the sisterhood. Those girls didn't know me from anywhere, and they gave me all the information that I needed to get started. When I tell you, for the rest of that trip, it was no more Debbie Downer. I was on a trampoline on cloud 9. So by the time we got home, I already knew my name, my business name. I had already jotted down some locations that I wanted to go check out. Like, it really motivated and empowered me. So initially going into body contour, and I just said, you know, I'm gonna be so skinny. I'm gonna do all these services on myself. I'm gonna do it on the side, part-time, after work. When I had my grand opening, it was overwhelming. I had people all the way out the door, and it just became something way bigger than I could have ever imagined. So that is how this happened.
Right. And one thing that I could tell, like in that story, is like, when it's your time, is your time. And it really doesn't matter what's in the way, because again, like, you started with paparazzi, you started with the boutique. Again, I remember like all of this. Sonya be like, girl, Jaleesa doing da 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 da. We're gonna have a party. You gonna come up? Like, and I'll be like, girl, I live an hour and a half. Like, I don't, you know, like, but you know, just knowing that it started here, and then again seeing this, and knowing that you kept going. Like, you could have told that girl, like, girl, no, but something, you know, something called you to do that. And I'm pretty sure that even if you didn't go, you were going to see 2 women in this industry that were going to call you to it, because this was your thing. And you know, that was just the avenue to do so. I think a lot of people just sit there and they wait. It's like they just be waiting for an idea to fall from the sky. And a lot of times the ideas are literally everywhere, because I'm pretty sure, like you said, you seen body contouring on TV. I'm pretty sure at that point you were seeing it all on Instagram, you were seeing it all on Facebook. And before you went to the women's empowerment group, you know, the event. So the signs that we're looking for and we're praying for, they be everywhere. And it's kind of, it's up to us to look at it and be like, that's the sign that I asked God for. Like,
right.
Like right in my face, versus like, well, I'm just gonna wait. So I do like that. And plus, women, I think people underestimate the impact of women empowerment events. Now, there are some events that are basically like, look at me and look at my friends type of women empowerment events. And there are actual events that women can go to. And I like to say that that's my church, Black women events, because that's where I go and get refilled. There is no other environment I feel like that I have been in that gives me that same feeling that other Black women give me, especially the ones who want you to win as well. So I love that. And the fact that they put you on game, and it wasn't an arm and a leg. Because again, right now we in the industry of, it's like, hey, how you doing? And they're gonna send you an invoice. And it's like, girl. You know, they're gonna send you an invoice. It's like they put you on, and you know, for free, so that you can get your leg up and then turn into a 6-figure business. And so knowing that now you got your business going, you done found your niche. Earlier, you mentioned that you were a mother and a wife. So how do you balance those roles, but also find time to run your business? So you a CEO, a wife, and a mother. And then you're a sister, daughter, all those things. So how do you still find time to fill your own cup?
Now, I struggle with this a lot, especially when I first started business because I was working full-time corporate dentistry, doing this part-time, and I would never be home. So initially I struggled with it a bit, but now I have come to a point where I'm able to balance and juggle it.
Mhm.
So the one of the main things for me, which I had to learn, is delegate. Okay. You
Mhm.
have got to delegate things to other people. You can't do everything. And me, I'm that type of person. Like, I got to do everything myself. I got it. I want it a certain
Mhm.
way. But I had to learn when it was time for me to hire a staff, I did that. When it was time for me to let go of my other job, I had to do that so that way I can balance my time. So for instance, now, when we get up in the morning at 7 a.m., we're up. But when I get home, 7 or 8 o'clock, my phone has to go on do not disturb, my work phone. And I had to learn that balance, because if you don't, it'll just take up your life. It'll take over everything. So balance. And for me, my main thing was delegate.
Mhm.
Delegate things to people who can help you out. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, because there are people who don't mind helping. So
Right.
don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to delegate certain things, is what I had to learn. And it's definitely helped me out a lot.
All right. So before my next question, this one on the script, but you said you had to figure out at what point when to leave. Now that's another thing that I think people struggle with. It's like they leave too soon or they wait and they leave too late. And so and it's at the point where they burn out of everything. And now it's like I don't want to do anything. So at what point for you did you say, okay, Jaleesa is comfortable enough with J. Marie's Total Body Studio to close the door on that chapter in my life?
So it came to a point where I had to choose, which one I wanted to do. And
Mhm.
once I saw the potential for J. Marie's and I realized, how big it had become, then I knew there was no looking back. So at that point, it's like, okay, I got to take a leap out on faith, and I'm going to jump out here and do this. If it doesn't work, hell, you can go and get a job anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But at least I can say that I jumped out here and I tried it. I jumped out there, and it was the best thing that I could have ever done because it opened up my window, my hours. It just
Mhm.
opened so many other things, such as starting training. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was still working in corporate dentistry 8 to 5, and then J. Marie's from 6 to 10, there's no way I could have opened up the doors to start training these other ladies how to open up their own successful body contouring studios.
Right.
So I feel like that door was open for me in order for me to help others. And I definitely just took a leap out on faith. I said, hey, let's just see what happens, and stay positive and keep pushing.
Right. And I think the thing about that is like when you step out on faith, I and this was me at one point, you feel like you got to have your all your ducks in a row. Like you got, I'm a, a lot, and I hear this a lot when I talk to people because I still do it works, and I talk to so many women who they'll say I was looking for this opportunity, and then I say, okay, well you ready? Oh, I gotta wait. I want to wait until this day. I want to wait till after my baby's birthday. I want to wait until I'm at this job for 6 months or this. They have all these stipulations on their own destiny
Yeah.
because they're scared to take a leap out on faith. When I started with my company, I was a teacher. I had been in my 4th year teaching. I started with the company after, initially I turned it down. I was like, no, I can't do this. Like, again, I hadn't seen people, successful Black people in this industry. And so I was like, no, I can't do this. And I took that leap of faith. And 4 months later, I was earning bonuses and reaching ranks that was taking people a while to do. And it was happening so fast. And, people looking at you like, oh, like you're doing something different. When you're doing something different, it started to rub people the wrong way because they're terrified to do it themselves. And so a lot of times, you being able to tell people like, you got to just take the leap. Like, it's
Right.
no secret sauce.
It's
It's
not.
it's
It's
no
not. Like, it's
right.
not.
It's not. It's no special elixir that she done went to the North Pole to get. Like, it's literally you wake up and you tell yourself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna
Yes.
do it. And so we love to see it. And then I have another question, again, not on the script, but it made me think about it. So you being married, Now, I know a lot of women who have their businesses, and a lot of times women who start their businesses, they talk about how, well, they want to start their business, but it's like they have to ask for permission. I have to ask my husband, can I do this? I have to ask, to do this. Like, can you talk about how supportive your own spouse was and offer advice for women who seek the validation of their spouse before stepping into their own destiny?
So I would say, with my marriage, it's a true partnership. When I went to him with my idea, he was like, okay, because he's always told me like, there's something that you're destined to do. Like,
Right.
you're gonna make us $1 million. Like, he always has
Right.
said that. I'm like, okay, we're gonna figure out what it is. So when I went to him with the idea, it was no question. He already knew. He knows how dedicated I am. He knows how I go hard at everything that I do. And I mean, he helped my startup. He helped fund the startup for my business, all my equipment, my class, everything, because he believed in me.
Right.
So I would say you have to be confident when you're talking to your spouse. If you go to your spouse with an idea and you're not 100% confident, or you don't have the details laid out, then they might get a little iffy as far as what you're bringing to them. But in marriage, it's a partnership, and that's truly what we have. So when I went to him, it wasn't a question. Now, I will say, when it came down for me to choose, he did have a little say so. Like, listen, you cannot be working 8 to 5 and then in the studio till 10. So that was part of my decision. Also, like, okay, well, this is what I'm going to choose. But as far as support, I didn't have any problem with that from him. But I would say, if anybody is looking to their spouse for support or for backup, just be confident in what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? If they believe in you, they're probably most likely going to go with it. And if they're not with it, then just have that conversation and see what's missing. Like, see what are they not understanding, what's not clicking. Because I will say, when you make any decision like that, it has to be a joint decision. You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump out there and do whatever. So absolutely, when you have that conversation with your spouse, just make sure you have everything together, stay confident, and then know what you plan to do for sure.
I like that. Being confident and knowing what you plan to do. I ain't got no man, but I know that I'm always doing something with my business and a business. So when I do meet men, I like to talk about, like, I'm doing this in my business and I'm doing that, and it sound all good until you got to help fund it. So,
That's
so
right.
right. So, being able to, like you said, be confident and go with a plan. And then if not, what's missing so that your vision can be in alignment? Because sometimes people don't see what you see. And so sometimes you gotta get it, you gotta be like, look, babe, look through my
Got
glasses.
to see it, right.
You gotta look through my glasses. All right, well, can you see it now? All right,
That's
go
right.
ahead. Right. So that's great advice. Cause again, I run into that frequently with this industry. And I'm like, I gotta ask my husband, I gotta see like I've actually gotten on the phone and had to re-explain information to people's husbands. And they be like, she'll get back with you. So I'm always like, okay.
That's right.
Yeah, she not, but okay. But thank you for offering that insight. Again, I know I didn't write it in, but as we were talking, I felt like that's a great piece of advice as well. Because again, not a lot of women who are just starting out have the confidence to be able to do that.
Right.
Um,
Absolutely.
all right. So speaking of confidence, if there is a time that you start to doubt yourself, or if there ever has been, sometimes it ain't. Sometimes you're like, I'm the damn bomb. Whichever one it is. Like, what are some words of affirmation, and encouragement that you give yourself?
So there's certainly days. Let me tell you something. In entrepreneurship, some mornings I'll be like, girl, you better go get a job. And then other days I'm like, girl, you got this.
Right.
So I try to, remind myself that I am enough, I am worthy, and I am the GOAT. I tell myself that several times throughout the day, like, you are the GOAT, you are worthy. It helps me stay motivated. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you believe it, then you are. That's what you are. So
Right.
that's the thing. Like, make sure that whatever you say, you believe it.
Yeah, and you gotta believe it. And I feel like I went through a period of like I was doing great in my business, and then I started to do too great. Then I was like, oh God, like I started panicking and I talked myself out of it. And then I just basically just watched myself fall from the top. You know what I'm saying? Like fall from where I had worked so hard to get to, because like I was telling myself, "Oh, you're amazing," but the feelings and the words, they just won't
Oh,
aligning.
yeah.
It wasn't matching. And so it's like you sitting there looking in the mirror, they crying to myself, I'm gonna have a good day. And like, because you don't believe it, every day got worse. But it's like a couple weeks ago, like I woke up all of a sudden, it was like, damn, I'm the bomb. And I really actually mean that shit. And
Right.
so
Like you was the bomb all day.
I was the bomb all day, and right, and thinking back, like I was the bomb then. Like, damn, like I'm ready to show the world I'm the bomb. And I have seen a complete difference in myself, in my businesses, and literally everything, just from getting in alignment mentally and also verbally. So telling yourself you to go and meaning it, that makes a huge difference. So if you are listening, make sure that you have a list of affirmations that you tell yourself daily. Like again, I think people think once you start making money, you see the money and that's gonna keep you motivated. Some days you be like, F the money, it's not even, it's not worth the money. I don't
That's right.
care. When it comes to running a business. And so that is great that you have that set up for yourself and to keep yourself motivated. And plus I know, like I said, your family is extremely supportive, to remind you of who you are too. And I'm sure you have a circle of other Black women who do that for you. And when people are running businesses, I think people get so caught up on seeing other people's competition versus seeing people as a sisterhood. Because the
Right.
same people you looking at, like, oh man, I don't want her to steal my ideas. That woman probably got what you need to take you to the next level. She probably knows somebody who could get you into that course that you've been sitting there saving and scraping your pennies up to get into. And so that's why I'm very welcoming of other Black women, because I know that they're sent to me for a reason. Whoever I meet is for a reason. I have something for them, or they have something for me, and whether that's just love or whether that's a networking opportunity or whatever it may be. So again, make sure you have yourself a circle and some words of affirmation to keep you going. All right, so what is the most important takeaway that you would want to leave Black women with tonight?
So the most important thing, like Black women, we are it. Okay, like we are. We express ourselves so many different ways that, and the world is looking and they love us. Black women are it. Don't
Mm,
ever let anybody, don't ever let anybody take your blackness away. You are Black and beautiful. Okay, just always remember that. It is a wonderful thing to be Black.
yeah, to be Black, right?
Yeah.
That is the most amazing thing. I wake up every day like, look at my skin. Oh, such a pretty shade of brown, and this is definitely a time where Blackness is, well, for Black people, for Black women, is celebrated. I mean, it's been celebrated before, but now I think we have so many platforms to celebrate on. We got TikTok, we got Instagram, Facebook, we can make our own websites. It's like wherever you go, you're gonna catch all this Blackness. And so
Right.
like you were saying, live in it, love it, be it, embrace it. Because it's an amazing thing. All right, so we are coming to an end on our interview for tonight. But before we go, how can the people connect with you? Where are you located? How can they get in touch with you? Are you open to collaborations? Because as we were speaking, I know about 3 or 4 women I would like to get you in connection with. As a matter of fact, I'm planning this little dinner for women in wellness. It's my sister, my esthetician. I probably told that word all up. Her name is Tina Divine. Myself and my makeup artist, like some of us coming together to talk about different opportunities and how we can build like a small community of networking between, and send people back and forth doing whatever. My sister's opening up her own like drip hydration business, and so I definitely can see you collaborating with them in the future. But for everybody else who doesn't have the connect like I do, how can they get in touch with you, and then how can they come and use your services?
So we have 2 locations in Durham. So we have one location downtown Durham on Broad Street, and then we have another location near near the airport near Briar Creek. So my website is www.jmarees.com, and that's JMAREES. That's how you spell Marees. We are on Instagram and Facebook. Instagram, we are at J Marie's Total Body. Facebook at J Marie's Total Body Studio. My text line is always open. Okay. I have girls who literally will text me at 2 a.m. That is okay. I'm going to be asleep, but I'll see it when I wake up the next day. So my text line is 984-364-7845. And you can text me anytime you have questions. Our consultations are free. So say you want some services, you're not quite sure what you need. Schedule a free consultation and come in, and we'll go through all of our services. We'll do a body analysis and kind of take a look at you and see what we think you would benefit from. So definitely, for sure, like summertime is coming. Y'all know winter bodies are made in the summer. So y'all, let's start working on it now, okay?
I know that's right. Let's go ahead and get you in connection with all these lovely services, this beautiful woman. And like she said, she has 2 locations. And then even if you are out of town, you can always travel to her to get it done. Okay. Because again, we want to keep it in the network.
That's
All
right.
right. So it is, time to wrap up. And before I go, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the opportunity to do this. And again, I know a lot of people, kind of get nervous when they get on here, but you are definitely a natural at this. And I can't wait to connect with you in a lot of different ways and also use some of your services. In addition to some of my products. Because like you said, I'm gonna be 30 this year.
Okay.
And I want to pop out on somebody beach with my ass cheeks out. Um with some pretty blue water. So that's one of my goals. But again, thank you so much for getting on. To everybody who's listening, make sure you subscribe on the YouTube channel and also on Spotify. Our anchor link has all of my connects, all the links to this podcast. You can follow me on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram at @HeyIsMe_JessB. Yeah, so again, thanks so much, y'all. And go ahead, enjoy your weekend. I know it's Saturday. What's coming up this week? Oh, Valentine's Day. So if you got a baby, enjoy. If not, do something for you. Okay, do some self-love, some self-care, because that's what it's all about, y'all. Okay. All right. So heal wholly and live unapologetically.